The leadership coaching that we do in Mansfield Group is a little bit different than that done by other coaches and other institutions. We work mainly with senior executives, and there's a certain dynamic that happens with senior executives which we've encountered many, many times, and it's this. Senior executives often reach a point where their natural gifts have given them a level of success, but they can't go further on their natural gifts alone. They are perhaps good looking and well spoken, and maybe they have a facility for aeronautics or for running a factory or for law or what have you. And so their natural gifts, their natural intelligence has brought them to a point in life, usually midlife, where they have a certain level of success. But what they realize is they can't go further. Perhaps they're a lawyer, they want to go into politics. Perhaps they have their eye on the boardroom or the CEO role, or they are the CEO and they want to franchise the company, and they know that they've got to be better at what they do. Somehow they're in a little bit of crisis between the natural gifts that brought them to a level of success and the needs that lay ahead in the challenges that they've chosen to face. This happens a lot because the leader rarely has people around them who will speak the truth to them. They know that they need some other techniques. They know they need to understand how to engage people better. They know they need to understand leadership processes and the dynamics between the leader and the led. But many times the key to success is in them personally. The role of leadership itself deforms. It misshapes people. It dulls them. And many times you come to a point in your life of leadership and you have been shaped by the duties that you've been taking care of, the duties you've been fulfilling, and you haven't been taking time to sharpen the saw. And this leaves you in a dull place. It leaves you in a slightly deformed place. What you need is someone who will speak the truth, what they used to call a disinterested party, who will talk to you about your manner, your looks, who will talk to you about your leadership approach, your communication, who will be blunt about the things that shape your total leadership persona. This always, in Mansfield Group, leads us to communications training. Almost the same dynamics in leadership that will make a leader a little dull, a little exhausted, a little that reaching the point of midlife where perhaps their natural gifts are not enough. It also dulls their communication. Almost every time I've ever worked with a leader who has any years of leadership under their belt, by the time they get some decades down the road, their leadership has been, their communication in leadership has been misshapen. They've been dulled. They've been talked out of their best voice. They've begun to model themselves on somebody who might not have been the best model. What we do is help them find their authentic communication voice, which is always going to be their most powerful voice, and then we marry techniques and language to it. We also do a couple of other things. We work with people in crisis. Crisis is where there's been a PR disaster, or there's been a leadership crash, or there's been a political assault, or a company's emerging from a lawsuit and wants to rebuild, and there's a need to have leaders, usually it's the CEO, who is more articulate, better able to lead, better and more in touch with people. This kind of crisis leadership, crisis training is critical to a lot of people, especially today in our litigious, high media society. And then finally, there's the kind of leadership and the kind of coaching that we do that relates to a campaign. It can be a political campaign. It can be a campaign a CEO or an entrepreneur undergoes to franchise a company, and they know that they're going to have to take their skills to a new level. All of this is what we do because we believe that everyone can up their leadership game, that leadership is important to society, it's important to, certainly in the free market, every kind of institution requires dynamic leadership. We try to move senior executives to that next level so they can have even greater impact, greater prosperity, and do even greater good in the world.